Hello, everybody, and welcome to Evp'D My Pants podcast with me, Jamie.
Me, Michael.
And me, Mike.
We do have a fourth, but Ben is not very well at the moment, so get well soon, Ben. He will be on every other episode, should I say, when he's all well. This is the podcast where we take the soup. This is the podcast where we take everything supernatural and put a bit of humor on it. Talk everything spooky, and I fucked up the intro because Mike threw me off. Well done. You knobhead. You absolute dickhead, honestly.
Keep going. It's fine.
Should I do it again?
No, keep going. It's fine.
Alright, anyway. As you can tell, this all the podcast is going to go pretty much every time. So, we will talk about everything supernatural, from spirits to spirit guides to demons to the devil himself, and even maybe Bigfoot.
Yay.
We will be serious. We will be serious, and we will also be funny. As you can tell, our local comedian is Mike. He loves those sound bars. So sit back and enjoy the first episode, guys, and thank you for listening. So, now let's crack on. Let's give this a go. What we are going to do is just, obviously, we're going to talk about our places that we've been to investigate ourselves, because we are all paranormal investigators. I do this with my brother Michael. So it's going to be pretty awkward for us to talk about investigations, because now we have to choose one completely separate to each other. But we're going to talk about it, see, what stood out for us in the investigation, probably the scariest one we've been to.
So if it makes it easier, why don't we just talk about like our top scariest place rather than a place we've investigated? Why don't we talk about a place that's really scary? It's like somewhere that's like left an impact on you.
I think mine's different to Michael's, so that's good.
Okay.
So, screw it, I'll go first, may as well, because I love a good talk. The one that's left an impression on me is a place called Walton Graveyard. It's local to me and Michael. We've been there a few times now, and each time it's still creepy. I remember the first time we actually found this place, it was purely by luck. I was out taking photos one day, and I stumbled across the castle's keep. And I was out taking photos, and I told my partner about it, and little did I know there was a graveyard just down the road, literally. Not about 20 meters down the road, which I didn't know about. Looked into the history of it. It turns out the graveyard is abandoned. Well, so we thought, but now they've started adding new people to it. So what it was is there was a village originally on top of the hill where the castle keep is and the graveyard is. But back in the day, when the plague decided to cut through Britain like a hot knife through butter, the village got pretty much wiped out by the plague. So what they did is obviously everyone died. They knocked down the castle and part of the old church that was in the graveyard and built what is now the village at the bottom of the hill. Obviously, there's been... Yeah, Swindon. There's obviously now buildings that have been built since, but...
Jamie, it's Swainby, not Swindon.
Oh, yeah, Swainby. Why am I saying Swindon? Like we're anywhere near Swindon. We're in the northeast of England. Swindon ain't nowhere near us, I don't think, is it?
Swindon's near me.
And that's why I didn't do geography at school, boys and girls. That's like saying Land's End. I'm like, where's Land's End? But anyway, so there's quite a lot of plague victims in this graveyard. And I think it was the first graveyard we actually ever investigated, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
And I thought, paranormal investigating just starting. graveyard's a great place to go. And I was like, well, I've been there during the day. It's not too bad. It's small. It doesn't look bad. But when that light disappears, that place is like, it's one of those stereotypical places where it takes a different life. The atmosphere just hits you like a ton of bricks. You feel like you're being watched all the time. And the first few times I was scared. I was definitely scared because I just didn't like it at all. Me and Michael decided to go once. We thought we were struggling for an idea for a video, like where should we go? And it was just before payday, so there wasn't much fuel in the tank. I was like, gotta be local, gotta be something. And I was like, oh, we haven't been to the graveyard in a long time. If anything, at the time, I don't think we even had a video on it.
No.
But we decided to go along, and safe to say, it got a bit weird. Now,
Oh yeah.
we were sat there and you were getting the typical responses and stuff. But this one time it was just me and Michael, just us two, and we were sat on the bench, just behind the church, or what's left of the church, and the floor itself started rumbling. It was the weirdest thing. Like, but it wasn't. We weren't due no thunderstorms or anything. Because it wasn't thunder in the sky. It was like the floor was rumbling. It's like, what the hell is that?
That happened
And then
twice, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it happened. Yeah, I'd say twice. And then all of a sudden we heard a scream. It was a
Yeah.
horrific scream. It was blood curdling. Like, it drove fear. It was pure fear. So me being me, didn't have to ask me twice. I was out of there. I made Usain Bolt look very slow. I was like cheating on cocaine. I was gone. And we got to the car. I had a bit of a break. I was like, no, I gotta go back in for once. I gotta go and finish this off. And we went back in, and we thought, there's no way that's gonna happen again. It just can't. But being paranormal investigators, you ask anyway. I think we asked them, like, was that you that screamed, or would you like to do it again and stuff? And nothing happened at first, and then we were talking about something else. And then I don't even think we were asking questions to the spirits at the time. I think we were generally just talking. And then next thing you know, the second scream happened. Now the second scream was a lot closer. And I don't care if Michael denies this at all, but Michael, to the people who knows and who have watched our lives on Instagram and spoke to us, it's a running joke where Michael has a tendency of running towards things and leaving me on my own. It's terrible when you're like me and certain places creep you out and your brother runs towards a noise and just leaves you in the middle of nowhere on your own in the pitch black.
But that's what you're there for. You're there to catch the paranormal when it happens.
Yeah, but running after it with no equipment, what you're going to do, keep hold of it until I get there?
Well, I had equipment. I had my camera on.
Anyway, so that's what Michael normally does, but this time he decided to take a leaf out of my book, and we both liked it.
Oh yeah,
because it caught us off guard, and it was generally terrifying. It was like a woman in pain, or she really didn't like that we were there. Like, so she just used all of her might to scream us, and it was quite a long time before I went back after that. Like, I took it as my duty to find everywhere else to investigate other than that graveyard, because it wasn't just the scream that terrified me. It was the feeling of the place. It's weird. The atmosphere was heavy. You could feel it, and it was like you were getting watched. You were definitely not wanted there. So it was a while anyway. But I thought, oh, you know what? We should go back. We've got more equipment. Oh, we should go. And at this time, our cousin Kayla's.
Was that the first time or the second time?
The first time we seen that woman at the gravestone, and she just vanished into the floor, which was weird. I think none of us even ran or were scared. Like, we were that took back over what was happening. Like, we were all three of us were looking at the same thing, and she just vanished into the floor. And that's probably the only thing that happened that night. That was a pretty quiet night until we went back again, and we took me cousin's son with us as well. So it was me, Michael, Craig, my cousin, and his son Joshua. And I thought, you know what, right? It started dying down, and at this point, somehow in some way, I all of a sudden had big boy pants, as Michael calls it. I don't know why, but I've now gone through this period of I don't really run off anymore, or I don't get as scared.
You must have sold them last night.
No, definitely. No, I soiled them last night, not sold them. I definitely soiled them. But we went, I thought, you know what we haven't done this whole time we've been here? We've never tried to contact the plague victims. Yet that's who's mainly there. And there's quite a lot of children's graves in this graveyard. There's quite a few. And I thought, and as Michael tell you, and Michael, everyone knows, my number one thing is I hate is child spirits. They scare the living daylights out of me. They're a big no-go. They're just way too creepy for my liking. It's not happening. But this night I was like, I'm gonna try and contact them, and I thought, funny. So I thought I'm gonna try and contact them. So I put I just thought daft idea. I thought it's not gonna work and it's gonna look stupid. So I put that Ring a Ring of Roses song on, put it in the middle of the path with cat balls and stuff around it, and asked them to come contact us. Come speak to me. I was like, hold on, I'll stand in the circle, all the typical stuff. Didn't think anything of it until the equipment started going off like a lot. I was like, oh, what have I done? No, I've definitely done something. And I thought if they contact me, I thought I'd be scared, and I didn't. I was actually I felt bad for them. Because it's just these kids, no one speaks to them. They're being forgotten about. They died of this horrible, horrible disease. And it just played the song, and I thought nothing of it. And I was, I'll try again. And then I went, right. And then that's when I said, I'll go and stand in the circle with them. I've never felt energy like it. It was so weird. Like, I could generally feel them hold my hands, and it was the creepiest yet. It was scary and not scary at the same time. But that graveyard has left such an impression on me. It's, even though I had that, that lovely little thing at the end with the child spirits, to comfort them and stuff, it still scares the living daylights out of me, because there's something there that no one knows. We can't find out what it is. We can't put our finger on it, but there's something there that does not want anyone there. Because to have atmosphere like that is just, it's got to be something powerful.
It is a really good graveyard.
Consider it's not that big as well.
No, it's quite small.
So yeah, so my place is Walton Graveyard. That's left an impression on me, and still to this day scares the living daylights out of me. Next.
Am I going, Mike, or are you going?
Yeah, you go, mate, if you want.
Right. So, the one that's made an impression on me was clearly the old Nick Theatre when we very first started. That place is amazing. The first time we went there, did Jilly come, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so we were downstairs where the woman's cellar was. And we were just chatting, weren't we? Or we were talking. And I seen this figure go into a room, like a full black figure. And I've never shit myself. I'm not scared at all. As you heard Jamie say, I run towards it, and that petrified me. And I was like, nope, I'm done.
I think that was the time it was just me and you, because I was on camera, started laughing because I was like, "Is that when you went for your Red Bull?" And I was like, "You have to walk past the thing, you see."
Yeah.
That was just me and
No,
you, and it was the only time I've been okay with you running off because of how funny it was. Because he was like, "I'm
it
not
was.
doing this. I'm done." I was
It
like, "You have to walk past what's just scared you to go get a cuppa." I was like, "The hell."
Oh, well, I didn't I?
Oh, he stormed past. He was like, "No." He just looked at me, went, "Nah, I'm good, I'm done," and walked off.
It was when Jilly was there because she was recording, and you just see me go, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm done."
I'm gonna have to look at that because I'm sure it was just me and you that time.
No, it was the very first time we went there. The second time we went there, it was oh, that was it. I was recording in the theatre on my phone, and something hit my phone, and I still to this day don't know what hit it.
Isn't that when you left it upstairs?
Yeah, I left it in the theatre, and we were downstairs in the
Oh, I
cell.
remember that. We kept it in, didn't we?
Yeah, you hear like
Put
a
that little...
weird snake noise,
Yeah,
and then something hit the camera.
I remember that because you put in the caption we were downstairs at this point.
Mm,
And something hit your phone. Yeah, when
that
we were
was
downstairs, we had nothing.
no, it was dead downstairs. It was a little bit cold.
It was dead downstairs. That's kind of the whole point of us being there.
The second time we went was I wouldn't say it was pretty good, but it was all right.
I felt more at ease the second time.
Yeah, it was when we'd finished the videos when everything kicked off.
Oh, yeah. So,
But
disclaimer.
yeah,
What Michael's on about is when we finished the video, we had some spare time left of obviously our time in the theatre. And what we decided to do is see if we could get a reaction by, in no certain terms, pissing off the spirits, which, which ones wanted to get angry. And we were, because the theatre used to be the courtroom, wasn't it?
yeah,
And the man told us whereabouts in the theatre the judge's seat would be. So we were sat there telling them all they were guilty, and they were like, I'm Judge Riley. And they were like, that's Judge Riley, which is weird because we're both Rileys. And then
yeah.
we had footsteps coming at us. And I mean footsteps, like they were thudding.
From the back stairs, right, which lead to nowhere. They literally lead to nowhere. They were coming towards us.
Yeah, that because I thought it was the man, didn't I? I was like, oh, the man's here, because that's how like very the footsteps were noticeable. Like I thought it was someone, and it
They
wasn't.
were really loud.
And the kid laughing back at you, that scared the out of me. Michael made a joke and laughed. And as he stopped laughing, you hear a child down the same stairs laugh back at him. Oh my God, I was done. I was like, I hope he's got building insurance because I'm about to set this bitch alight.
We went upstairs as well, didn't we? We found the upstairs rooms. We had tapping up there. We had walking towards us.
The hissing, wasn't it? Wasn't there a hiss we caught?
Yeah, that's when we were on our own. We were back the second time, didn't we? Just me and you.
Yeah.
And we found the upstairs, and we caught it all on camera. I was amazed.
It's a hell of a building.
It is. It's like the TARDIS, isn't it? Because outside it looks tiny, but inside it's massive.
It is. There is like it's more tall than it is long.
But there's also buildings outside as well. But I don't think he let you in them.
No,
do you know where he went when he went out to the garage?
Yeah, that's why. Like I think he's working on things back there, like restoring things and stuff. So it's like his little work shed.
All right, I didn't know that.
But yeah, if you are listening and you ever have the chance to go to the old Nick Theatre, you gotta go.
Yeah, we've got to go back.
More than their prices have changed, so it's best to go as a group now. When me and Michael went, it wasn't as popular, so it was perfectly affordable for two people.
And it was through the week as well, so it was cheaper.
Yeah, we like to, when we go to things like that, we try and get it through the weeks. It's cheaper, but because now the theatre's been used quite a bit for Channel 4 and BBC because it's a period correct building for like drama series and stuff. It's got a bit popular, so.
Yeah, Channel 5 were there when we turned up, weren't they?
Yeah, they were out the back, and we were just stood there like, are you going to finish anytime soon? We got something to be. The man went out of word, didn't he? No, the woman
Yeah.
went and had a word, didn't she? She turned around, she excused me, and like, you ran over your time. Our other customers were here. And I'm like, yeah, get out. You and your big posh cameras. Do one. So,
They had 10 minutes more than they were supposed to.
yeah, she went and moved them on. She was like, I don't care if they're a big production. Lovely people. The man who runs it is amazing, isn't he? He's so nice. He talks a bit, but he's nice.
He's crazy. Can you just walk around that place, turning the lights out like it's nothing?
What's happened?
Yeah, that was man, the old Nick Theatre.
It went quiet.
And you, Mike? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hey, up there he is.
I don't know what happened there.
Spirit.
I reckon so.
Wouldn't surprise me in your house.
Yeah, I know.
Mate, he's like a magnet for negativity. Throw it down. Throw it down.
Anyway, do you want to hear about my one? So
Not really.
no.
No.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. So mine isn't one that you would probably necessarily think about. It's not like a well-known ghost venue. It's not a well-known like it's not a very documented place. But I went on holiday to Cornwall. It was a long time ago, and we rented out a house in Padstow. So basically Rickstein Village, and there is in the centre of Padstow there is the marina, and up by the marina is a really old church, and along the road from that we rented this cottage, and we got it at a really good price, and at the time we didn't really think anything of it, and it's probably not only the most scariest place I've ever been, but it's also probably the most evidence I've ever captured by accident. So we went. It takes you, from where I live, it takes you about 3 hours to get there. You weren't allowed in the cottage until 4 o'clock. So by the time we got there, we had puppies at the time. So you had to get the puppies sorted and blah blah blah. So we were so knackered. We went to bed and didn't think anything of it. Got up the next morning and went into the bathroom, and all the cupboards were open. And I was like,
"Oh wow,
what the hell? Like, did I did I imagine it? Something's happened, and I just didn't think about it. Like you just try and rationalize what's going on at the time. So
yeah,
just shut the cupboards, went downstairs, didn't think anything of it. Went out, had a nice night, blah blah blah. Came home, and same thing happened the next night. Now I'm sat here going, right, this is my girlfriend at the time definitely didn't sleepwalk or anything like that, and I thought, right, I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna download an app, like, because you can get those sleep talking apps that are recording, and then when they hear a noise, they start recording.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll put one of these on the stairs and see if I hear anything moving around or anything like that. Woke up the next morning, had 32 activations, and I'm like, what the hell?
Bloody hell.
And I'm like, what the hell? So anywhere that the door was open, all the cupboards were open. So I'm like, somebody's got to be in the house. Like, this is weird. So I did a bit of an exploratory go around the house, see what's going on. I've gone upstairs, and they've got like a converted attic. Now, in the converted attic, on the cupboard door, which is like a wardrobe, but it's like a built-in wardrobe with like a door. You go into it, and it's a little room with like coat hangers and stuff. There were some booties, little children booties on the door. Now,
Burn them.
at this time, I didn't really know what that meant, but that is a sign to. It's like a pure sign or something, and you put them on there, and it wards off evil spirits. So I didn't know this. So now this is day 4. Remember, this is day 4. We've got one more day left. So I've said to my girlfriend, nearly there. I go to bed, and I say to my girlfriend, like, you know, if we wake up and there's like all the doors are open or anything, we're just gonna go home.
I'm leaving.
I've had enough. I get into bed, she gets into bed, and we're just about to turn the lights off, and we hear somebody walking above us.
Oh, hell no.
Right?
Nope.
Now bear in mind, this is carpeted upstairs, and it sounds like somebody is walking on a wooden floor. So I'm sat there, and she's like holding my hand, squeezing it as if to say, "What the fuck?" And I'm sat there going, if that door goes, it's going to be who can get down. Yeah, who can get out of this house quicker. I'm
taking the window.
So I'm sat there going, oh my God. And now you can hear them coming down the stairs. And the problem is when they're coming down the stairs, it's got weight to it. So it's like creaking as it comes down the stairs, and we're both sat there going, "Holy shit, holy shit!" And we're both looking at the door, waiting for the handle to go. It's like out of a horror movie. But I was
gonna say that's terrible.
So like we're sat there, and then it goes into the bathroom. So all it does is it goes into the rooms with the doors that are open. And then what it did is it walked into the bathroom and starts slamming the doors. So like it's opened a cupboard door and is slamming it. And we're both sat there, like she's crying, like, and I'm sat there going, "What is going on?" So then this goes on repeatedly for like 15 minutes, and then it stops, and then you hear it go back up the stairs, and then it shuts the door, and then this goes on for 3 hours. Just different rooms.
Start packing.
Yeah, literally.
How the hell?
Like, and anyway, so at this point, I've got a phone on the stairs, like recording constantly. So we obviously she puts the like covers over her head, takes a sleeping tablet, and goes to sleep. And I'm sat there like, if I'm just sat there watching.
Do it myself then.
Yeah, so I'm just sat there watching the door the whole night, just waiting and waiting and waiting for it to. I was waiting for the door handle to slowly drop down, and then walk in, but nothing happened. Like the door was shut, so it didn't come in, and I think it was just residual energy up until the point where it started slamming doors. But I was so scared, and I don't mind admitting this on here, because at the time I'd never really done much paranormal stuff. I just dabbled in it here and there, and I'm not going to lie, like we literally packed up and went the next morning. We spoke to the letting company, and we were like, "Listen, like, did you know it was haunted?" And she was just like, "I don't know what you're talking about." We sent her the audio clips and stuff, and we got a full refund. But it was just it was just the worst part was the bit where they came down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like you could hear like solid footsteps, like.
There's certain times, isn't there, where you start thinking, when you're that convinced that it's someone, you don't think paranormal. You think, no, this is real life. Like something's about to go horribly wrong here.
Yeah, and I mean it was.
But then when you realise it is paranormal, it's that bit more terrifying.
Yeah, because I mean the slamming of the doors was just. It wasn't like it was just tapping it. It was like full force aggression, slamming it to the door. And like when they like open, oh my God, honestly. And that was 15, 16 years ago, and I still remember it. Like I can still feel that fear of, if that door goes, what are we gonna do?
I think you should go back.
Yeah, I mean I've looked on the website that I went to see if we can go back there, but you're just not advertised anymore.
All right. That's a shame.
Imagine if it was, though. That'd be That'd be good if it was.
I mean, it's just I mean, like ever since, like obviously now we do paranormal stuff. I've just never come across anything that's even matched it.
Mm.
I
don't think much would, to be honest.
Not when you sat there for 3 hours just in the same position, waiting for something to go horribly wrong.
That's the thing.
That's just another.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, isn't it?
That's another level of fear, isn't it?
Yeah, it was almost like it was playing with the waiting and like the just when you're just sat there anxious and you're just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then it goes quiet for 5 minutes and then all of a sudden you hear it again, and that's the thing. Like you could hear it come from the cupboard. And you could hear it as it was like walking across the ceiling, down the stairs. It was just like it was going, oh my god.
That's a horror. That's literally stereotyping a horror film, isn't it? That's like you couldn't get any more horror film 101 than that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was on talking terms with my ex at the time, I'd get her on here just so she could clarify. Just like, I mean, she was a full-on skeptic, but she was petrified. And like
I think
at the time, I was kind of like, maybe this is my spiritual gift opening, but she was squeezing my hand so tight, like, what is going on? And like because the first night it happened, when I walked into the bathroom and all the cupboards were open, I thought, like, do I say anything to her? Like, I don't want to scare her.
Yeah.
So I just didn't say anything.
Oh, see, I'm awkward. I'd end up telling her, lass. Alright, just let you know.
But the thing is, you like I wanted it to be like a really nice holiday, and I didn't want to like ruin it for her. So I was just I would have just fucking told her, just piss her off. But it's you just you go on holiday and you just like let's have a nice time, and it like say it takes a long time to get to Cornwall anyway.
Yeah.
But oh man, and you just like when you go into somewhere and you get that horrible feeling of oh my god, what have we done? And then
that was Jamie last night.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
No,
definitely.
Right.
Go on,
Mike. I gotta tell you about that, mate. You're gonna love it. Right. So we turned up to this hospital that we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out you literally just walk in the front door because we were thinking, oh, you get access through windows. Pretty much all the windows are open. And I went, oh, the front of the building, let's just look anyway. And I just went, no, turns out you walk through the front door. There's no door, you just walk in. And I'm telling you, when you walk in, the moment you step foot in that place, you know about it. There's no hiding from it. You know that place is something gonna go. We didn't record a video because other people turned up. Because at first we thought security turned up because we heard a dog. But we think that it was from the prison that's next door. Because we thought, if it's coppers with a dog, let's just go out, let ourselves be known. They'll just tell us to leave. But anyway, we're walking about trying to get our bearings. No cameras on, just had our lights, we're walking about, checking the place out. And I'm telling you, we were there for all of 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we had laughing, we had humming, we had... Anyway, we had laughing, we had humming, we had footsteps, we had things thrown, we had tapping, we had talking, and I'm talking 15 minutes, and we didn't even start recording. We didn't even ask any questions. It was just
talking.
Oh, they were letting you know this is ours. You're in our domain, and I don't think I have ever been that scared for a long time. I was terrified. My heart was going 10. Like lately in your cabin where you're like, I just don't want to go in. I just can't.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? Like when you're intuitive, you kind of pick up on the energy, and that's what I was trying to say the other day. Like when I walked in there, the energy change was massive, and you could.
It was just. I think that was when last night was probably the time I was kind of like got what you were on about.
And
I was like, because
it didn't help. Sorry, go on.
I was saying, didn't I, mate? And I was even my cousin went, I think we should give it a miss because I was saying to you, and I was like, I don't feel good. My heart's going 10 to a dozen. I can't breathe. Like I was terrified, and there was something about that place that I was like, I don't mind not getting a video here. I'll take the hit. I do not want to be in this building.
I don't think it helped you being told it was a mental institute neither, and there was children there. I don't think that helped. I think that got
That
your
definitely
anxiety
didn't.
levels went through the roof.
So, yeah, as I've said, obviously we all know I'm scared of child spirits. They terrify me. All I knew was that it was a hospital. So to me, it was just a general normal hospital. I thought, kind of deal with it. It's creepy, you know, it's massive, but I can deal with it. And it was on the way, me cousin decided to tell me the backstory about the place. And he was like, oh, no, it was a mental hospital as well. So, excuse me. He was like, yeah, it was also an insane asylum. And at one point, it was also an old people's home. Just, oh, for God's sake. I thought that's just bad as it is. Then he dropped the bombers. The age range was from 5 to fully grown adults.
Right.
I was like, I am done already. I haven't even stopped there, and I was like, oh, for God's sake! And you walk up to the place, and you walk up the path, and it just comes into view, and you're just like, what have I done? Why am I here? But I tried to soldier on, but there was parts of me where we're like, let's cut our losses. Let's take it as a scouting trip. We know we can get in very easily. Right, let's just call that a success. I have never been more happy to leave a place and go, didn't get a video out of that, than I was. The moment my cousin was like, and Michael like, right, let's just, let's cut our losses here before it gets too late. I was struggling. I don't think I would have made it through an investigation. I was
and we were
generally
going to split up as well.
Yeah, I couldn't have. I can tell you here and now, perfectly fine. No way I could have split up on my own. I couldn't have handled it. There was something about that place that was not nice, and I couldn't be in there. Normally, if I'm scared, I get through it. I'll sit there all night moaning or telling people I'm terrified. But I could not have handled it. I know at some point we're going to go back as well, which scares me even more.
The problem is,
the moment you know Jamie's scared is when he goes quiet.
Oh, I had my fist clenched, didn't I, and everything.
Yeah.
And I said to Michael, is there any point I'm allowed to unclench my fist? Because every noise I was like, I'm swinging. I'm swinging. I don't care. It's good. Because I thought if there's someone else in here messing with us and they jump out, I'm decking him. Right? I just am. I'm swinging. I was so on edge. And then how fast things started happening when we were there, even though we didn't even start an investigation. I was like, imagine if we did start contacting and like pushing buttons.
We must have been in there at least 20, 30 seconds, and we heard talking.
To the point where like our cousin Craig, didn't he, went hello? As in like letting anyone else know if they're in there. So we like, yeah, what's the crack? Like it was, and then it was the laugh. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. The woman laughing.
Yeah.
When Craig went hello, and it was like a giggle, as in them letting you know, as in we're going to screw you and you're going to know about it. You can't see us. This is our home. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. It was, Mike, honestly, if you were there, your senses would have been through the roof as well. I can guarantee it. Like, you would have loved it, but also hated it at the same time.
But I didn't feel scared at all, me.
I was shitting myself.
At all.
I think the thing is once they realise that you're scared, that you're like a beacon.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I would have been like the Eiffel Tower if I was a beacon. Like, they knew that I was scared. How I didn't have nightmares last night, I do not know.
10 minutes before we got there, you were already biting your nails. So
I was dreading it. And then what made it worse is we went round the back. I thought it was the back. It turns out to be the side. And I was like, oh, we're going to try, find another wing of this hospital. This is how unlucky I am. I found the yard where the people who were locked up would have been in there. It had the 20-foot metal fences. It was enclosed. And I was like, oh, why do I have to find this bit? Like, why? Why me? And I sent Michael in first. I was like, I'm not going in first. I can tell you now, I'm not going in first. I'm going in second, so I have someone in front of me and I have someone behind me. Like there was a couple of times where I went to leave and my cousin and I was at the back, and I was like, nope, nope, no, don't want this. But I think that'd be a hell of a video. But even talking about the place gives me the creeps. It is awful. And the only time I felt like that was the first time, the time we went to the Ancient Ram Inn, because we built it up so much.
Yeah.
Which I still think we should go back, because I think we could do. We got some good stuff on it, though.
What, at the Ancient Ram Inn?
Yeah, I think hearing that child downstairs and then the REM pod went crazy, didn't it? That was good. And then when that when that blimmin' thing lunged at me in that corridor.
And I nearly got laid out.
Oh my
We caught an EVP on the camera as well.
I remember that was right. We were just starting, and we were like, right, let's go up, let's get cracking. And Mike said to us too, did one of you just speak?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we didn't say no. And he went, I'm telling you, I heard a voice.
Yeah,
and it's on our YouTube as a short, and it's been viewed a lot, and it tells us we're going the wrong way, didn't it? It says wrong way.
Yeah.
And it's just as it finished saying wrong way, and Mike goes, did someone just speak? I was like, I bloody hope not.
We did have some weird stuff. It was like when we were sat in the cat room, wasn't it? And you could see somebody like looking from the other room, like, and everybody was watching it. It just kept going from backwards and forwards. It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was watching something like, if that runs at us, I'm sacrificing Daryl.
Where's the cat room?
It's the room with the mummified cat in it.
The front room.
Is that the first? Oh, the front room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember that bit.
It's the one with the cat in a glass cabinet thing.
We had.
Yeah, I know it's the living room. I just can't remember the thing looking at us.
Yeah,
I built that up way too much. Because when I was in there, go on, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, we were all around the table, and it was you and Jamie that saw it first. It kept going from left to right, and then it kept setting the. Was it the REM pod we had there? We had something there, didn't we?
And the REM pod, I think.
Yeah, and then
was it through the door?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then I think Mike was like, "You have spotted something." Like, yeah, and then Daryl was like, "Yeah, I see." He's like, "Shut up, you." But it was yeah, we could see that. But then when me and Mike were downstairs and all that built up, because you and the other fella were upstairs, and you could tell something was kicking off because I got a bit annoyed. Then I told you we used to shut up.
Yeah.
But it's not because I was like, it's because I was like, pretty much something's happening here and it won't stop. And then
it was funny because we were all upstairs and like I heard it and I was like, "What's that? Fuck it, I'm going downstairs." You're like, "Where are you going?" And I was just like Rambo, and I was gone.
Yeah, because then I went, "You're not leaving me on my own," so I went with it. And then it turned out, I was like, "Well, Michael isn't coming behind me, so it looks like it's just us two."
Yeah. And then
we were in the monk's room on it, and then as we went to leave, that thing came running down the corridor.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I've still got it as a clip, and it was
you got as it came in that room as well, didn't you?
I told you to grab my camera because I couldn't keep my arms up. I don't know why. It's only a small camera, and I couldn't hold it. It's like someone's dragging my arms down. It was like it was scary, but one of the funniest times is when Mike looked at me like he was going to lay me out, and I'm like, "What have I done?" I was like, "I didn't do it," but I think it was you're the closest thing to me, mate. I'm sorry. It's like, you take one for the team.
Is the way on the video you went, "I heard that," and I went, "I know." Yeah.
Well, when I went, yeah, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's just.
That was horrible. And the thing is, I seen it coming and I heard it, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
All he did was step out the room. Didn't say anything. Didn't ask any questions. He just stepped out the room and it just went, "Aya."
It was horrible.
He looked at me and I was like, "Brace for impact because your jaw's about to get took off, son." We've had some funny moments, I swear down. It's not even like a long period of funny moments. It's those little instances that are funny.
Yeah.
Like, I think most people who do paranormal investigating are probably very serious, but they'd probably hate doing investigations with us because there's that one time in the investigation where we're all like, screw it, we're getting tired. Time act like idiots.
Yeah, but then I think it's funny sometimes. Like, that's the times where you need people with energy. Because when it starts to, like, the energy starts to drop, you need people that can lift it back up.
Oh, yeah, especially when I'm overtired. I'm like, great to have there. When I'm tired and I'm done, it's like, right, I know I get to leave this place. I'm going to piss everything off in here and then leave. It's not my issue.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff we've said to wind them up it's just not needed.
I'll never forget that guy's face in the hotel. Never ever. When we, like, I need to put a warning on here, guys, and I'm really sorry, and I'm not. No, I'm not sorry. Basically, we were in a hotel in Scotland, and there was Jamie. Jamie had seen a woman coming up the stairs, and the lady that allowed us to go there was like, "You need to be careful because she's quite like almost demonic." And Jamie was like, "Oh, fuck you," basically. And we went into this one room. It was me. Was it me and you, Jamie, or me, you, Jamie, and no, sorry, me, Michael, and Jamie.
Yeah.
And we heard that voice in the cupboard.
Yeah, it was us three.
And then, so we went back into that room, and there was a few people there with us, and we decided it would be a good idea to provoke and try and get this woman angry. So, yeah, that's exactly how it went. It wasn't nice.
we took provoke to a whole nother level. Because it was funny because what the worst thing they could have done was the other group go, "Don't piss her off, she's evil." We just grinned at each other like, yeah, it's like the same wavelength, like we knew what was coming next. It was like, let's have it. And Mike said a bunch of stuff, and then he went, "Jamie, it's your turn." I was like, yes. What did I call her? I said something, didn't I?
You said Mike says you're a prick?
Yeah, that was it. Mike said you're a prick. And then I said, "You're not going to do nothing to me, you lanky bitch." Because what the thing is, I'd just seen it, and I don't know. I think purely I was lucky because I was so tired, and then I seen her come up the stairs. And I'm like, well, this is happening. And then the woman we were with, like, "Don't piss her off." And I was like, "You're so lucky I'm tired because I'm about winding this thing up." Like, because we're leaving. Like, you come here often. This is a you problem now.
But the thing is, we did get some good stuff. Like, you know, when you look at how close we were to Holy Island, and you know, we definitely had a few. I mean, when we played that music in the.
Oh no! Never again! Never again!
I mean, that resonated down the whole corridor, didn't it? And that sounded.
You felt it through the walls.
Oh my god, that was so good.
It was funny because I was sat there. I was down the other end of the corridor, and I think I was with Dad and Michael.
Yeah, we were.
And I think Michael was getting annoyed at Dad because Dad went quiet for a long time, and he wasn't speaking, and he was just sat in a chair in the room. Do you remember, Michael?
Yeah.
We're like, "Dad," and we were speaking to him for ages, and he just wouldn't even look at us. And I'm like, "All right," so I just keep him in, right, crack on. Michael was getting annoyed because he was like, "No, it was." And then it's just I heard this, and I was like, and I've got it on camera, and I was like, sorry for the language. I went, "The fuck is that?" And then you just hear Michael, "It's just me." And I'm like, what? I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm just playing this music." And I was like, "You went to wind them up." I was like, "Wind them up." I'm terrified. You know how creepy that is.
The thing was, I wasn't expecting it to resonate so well. Like, the room.
It went above and beyond.
Yeah, like the room it was in was like the other side of the hotel, and you were right down the corridor. But it must have echoed and like resonated because it sounded amazing where you were.
Oh, it was absolutely off it. It was that you could feel the noise, like generally feel the noise, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And I'm stood there, I was like, watch this, I'm going to be studying down this corridor, and there's just some big Viking mofos about to turn up in front of me. I was like, what is he doing? Is he like starting another Viking invasion or something? Will you turn that off?
But then to be fair, like if you look on my Instagram page, there is a picture of a Viking in the door. It looks like, I think it was when, can you remember, Michael, when me and you were stood by the door, we kept seeing somebody walk under the door? Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, was that the shadow thing and you were telling us?
Yeah, like it kept.
Yeah, it was
kept
the fire exit.
So, I mean, when I took the picture...
Yeah, and I said I'm not going there because there were spiders.
I mean, when I took that picture, when we first got there, and we had that laser grid, and you can see a picture of a Viking's face in the door, but it was going, like, from left to right. So then when me and Michael saw it, it was going from left to right. So I reckon it was the same thing. Because you weren't that far from Holy Island, were you? You were, like...
No, that part of the country as well, up in on the coast.
Yeah.
Is obviously...
Berwick.
Where we got invaded pretty much, so it was a good location to have that happen.
Yeah,
but it was just terrible, and I was like, oh, what is he playing this for? And I was like, what is he doing? He's trying to give me a stroke.
I was doing it for that ambience.
Oh, ambience. Yeah. I mean, I think you took that a bit too far.
Yeah.
It turned into a Viking rave by the time you were finished.
Fucking Viking raid.
Oh mate, we had some funny instances. I think even like, seems Ben's not here. We have to tell a story about Ben. It was the one and only first time we all finally done an investigation together. Was in Ben's favorite location, Cannock Chase. Loves it, the fella. He loves it. And we turned up, and it started raining, but we carried on, and Ben and Mike found, it was like a cabin thing, you were calling it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you got there a bit earlier than us, so there was a bit of daylight left.
Like a rain shelter.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, we're going to this rain shelter. And we're like, all right. Well, we all ended up getting lost. And then we were on like separate paths. And you just hear Mike go, Ben, you had one job. Ben went, I was following you. It's like, oh, God. And I was like, Ben, you've done like 15 videos here. How we lost? And he was like, it was daylight. And then Mike went, no excuse. We were here 10 minutes ago. And then we're walking.
But hang on, in my defense, sorry to butt in, it was literally a straight line. All we had to do is follow this one track that was straight. And how he got us lost, I never know.
It was a gift. It was a skill. It was a skill. It was, then we were walking to this thing. We've completely gone off track. We've gone the long way. And Ben was in front of me, and he was just bobbing along, and he just vanished. He just disappeared. He just felt like a sack of shit to this ditch. And it was like, I went to catch him, but halfway through going to catch him, my left arm went, there's no point.
He's gone already. Let's just leave it.
It's game over. And then we've done the investigation. And then we're walking through it again. And he slicked again. I went, right, it's getting beyond the joke now. And then everyone started falling over. Mike just went, oh, screw this. And just took off. He just started walking to his guys. I'm not waiting. So me and Michael were stood there with this group. And they keep falling over. And clearly the footwear they had on was not built for the outside world. Me and Michael were in big boots. So we were the only ones standing up. And it was like every 10 feet, someone kept slipping. And I said to Michael, do you want to just camp here for the night? Because we were getting back to the car. All you kept hearing was, oh, bollocks, ow, ow. And I was like, well, you should just walk. It's not hard. It was so funny. I went, where's Mike? And you just see him in the distance with his torch, and he's gone, I'm here. You hurry up. It's like, no, man.
Yeah. I like my exploring.
Oh, I can't wait to go back Cannock Chase. It'll be so much fun. Because for ages we were bent up about it, didn't we?
We did.
It's the worst bit. I don't want to. Nah, we haven't got a choice. You're coming.
Right. Anyway, we better finish
Panic
this,
Chase is
guys.
for another episode. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a full episode on Panic Chase.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for listening. There will be another one up next week. So if you like this, then you'll be able to see it everywhere else. But thank you very much, guys, for listening, and hopefully Ben will be on the next one. That's it. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, people. See you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.